I was not able to shoot the basketball behind the paint. In my first trainings that I did to become decent in basketball, just to be able to play with my friends in recess, I tried to shoot the ball and I do not have the power to shoot it behind the paint. And I was not a 5-year-old child, I already had 14 to 15 years in my back. But this happens. We all don't know how to shoot the ball in the right form and cannot generate as much power to shoot the ball far in that first moment. But as time progressed, everyone began to generate power to at least shoot a 3-point shot. Like you are seeing here, it's not a good jump shot, but I at least was making a 3-point shot. But even after that, I struggled a lot shooting behind the 3-point line, and I had to use a lot of my arms and body to have just a tiny chance for the ball to hit the rim. And when you do that, your arms begin to be very sore, and you lose a lot of your precision and consistency. In other words, the more force that you need to use to shoot a single ball, the worse are the chances of making that shot. And I noticed that very quickly. So, in the past years of shooting and training, I learned and implement a ton of mechanics to my jump shot. And after that, I discovered some mechanics, some things that you can do when shooting the ball to generate more power when shooting using less force. Meaning that you can still make that 3-point shot and long range shots, increasing your precision and making you a more consistent and better shooter. So stick until the end of this video, because the last mechanic is that one that I relearned recently and is the key to anyone with any jump shot to increase their consistency. When I was still suffering and needing to use all my force to shoot a single basketball from the 3-point line, I found out a very good video here on YouTube, and when seeing it and taking notes, one thing stick out most than the rest. You see, if you start your shooting movement very high, you don't accelerate enough the ball to have that speed, that power, to go easily to the rim. So you use a lot of the force of your arms, making your shot worse, as we already seen it. And the same thing would happen if you started a uppercut really high, like in the chest area. You wouldn't have the power to hit the opponent hard enough. But if you start your uppercut low, you can generate more speed, more power to hit the opponent harder. And the same thing happens in your jump shot. If you start your shooting movement low, like in the middle of your quadriceps, you will be able to generate a lot more power in your shot. But even when I implement this in my jump shot, I was still suffering to shoot the ball a little bit. Then I discovered another mechanic that had changed completely the way that I shoot the ball today. Think of a catapult. If the part that holds the boulder was holding more like the sides, don't you agree if you activate the catapult, it would push the boulder for a moment and then the ball would slip off that part and the catapult wouldn't throw the boulder further than expected. But if you put the part that holds the boulder totally under the ball, you will utilize all the power that the catapult will generate. And the same thing happens with your hand when releasing the ball. If you don't put your hand totally under the ball when releasing it, you will have a higher chance of the ball slipping off your fingers when shooting, and you will not use all the power that you generate in your jump shot. So try to put your hand totally under the ball to use the maximum output of power and force that you are generating in your jump shot. Those things help me to shoot 3-point shot more easily, especially in the corners, almost without putting any force, making shooting in that position really good and consistent. But what if you need to shoot even further, like Dame and Curry range? Only those two things will not help you enough. And with this in mind, I tried to learn more mechanics again, and In this way, I found out something about Damian Lillard's jump shot. What he do when he decides to shoot those long-range jumpers is to use more of his leg. This works because mostly of the power that you generate in your shots come from moving the ball to your shooting pocket, to your set point, and your legs. This is why shooting free throws needs more power than a mid-range in the same place. So, if you want to generate more power than usual to hit a long shot, squat more than the usual 1/4 of a squat. But be aware that probably your jump shot will be a little more slow than normal. So just do this when wide open, like he mostly do. And recently, when I come back to train my jump shot after months, I noticed how important it is to do one thing that everyone is very aware of, but is very overlooked too. So even that we all knows about it, we don't give this the importance that should have. And I'm talking about fluidity. When you have a perfect fluid jump shot, you maximize the power of your shots. And one thing important that I notice here is when you doesn't have to need to put all your force into a jump shot, you use your hands and fingers more to control where the ball is going to be, increasing a lot of the chances of your making the shot, because will be more precise, accurate and consistent. So, not only will you generate more power when being fluid, but also will become a more consistent shooter. And being more fluid worked for me. Shit, sometimes I don't even shoot the ball perfectly, and I even say it's not going in out loud, and then goes in, just because I shoot the ball with fluidity. Sure, that's good. I'm making more shots because I increase my shooting power. But all this is just to make your arms more relaxed, to increase the precision and consistency of your shots. So, if you want to become a more consistent shooter and a better shooter, you need to become more accurate when shooting the ball. And if you are interested in that, click on the video that is appearing right now. And comment below what should be the next video about. And I see you there.